First step, make sure your blade depth is set. So hold the guard up, not deep enough. On this one, there's a lever back here. Loosen the lever, adjust the guard. Maybe you already know this. Tighten the lever down to make sure you're going to cut all the way through. Okay, next step, you have a speed square, then you can mark it, pen or pencil, to your square. Next step, make sure your blade is square. You take a square, hold it against the blade. Mine isn't very square. So this gauge right here, and you can loosen the screw, move the gauge up and down. Usually there's a mark in there, but it's fat marks, and so that's a little bit better. And try to tighten the screw without moving the guide. And double check. It's probably all these adjustments are probably best done. Do it this way. All these adjustments are probably best done with it unplugged, just in case, you know, you grab it by the trigger and accidentally kick it on when you got your guard removed. Step 3, either cut carefully right on the line. Mine used to have a battery. Well, with the battery, it has a little LED light to give you a guide, but the battery's dead. So I usually take the piece in my left hand, saw in the right hand, find the line down here. I'm looking, my line of sight is down right here towards the front of the blade, right where it's going to start to cut. Now, and then the guard is always a pain in the butt because you're pushing the guard out of the way while you're trying to plunge the cut. Some guys take a speed square. They use a speed square on the back side of their platform here to make the cut. And this is maybe a good way to do it if you're trying to cut off just the thin section. One problem I have with doing this is then once you get through the cut, you're going to be cutting, your hand's going to be in the way. So then you got to move your hand back on the square to make sure you have enough room to run the motor past your hand. I don't find this to be particularly helpful, but if you're trying to cut off just a sliver, using the guide, the speed square as a guide, then that helps you steady the saw. Or how square that is. Not great. You could take off a half a blade width. So put the blade on the end. Line up the square. Back the square off. tad. It's not a miter saw, but anyway, not very many good ways to smooth or square the end with any kind of anything else. Maybe a bandsaw. You definitely need a tabletop belt sander that has a table that is square to the sanding belt, and that would be able to square up sanding it. Otherwise, you're almost left to cutting it just a sliver, half a blade width. Hope that helps.